Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we are on Love 99.5 FM in over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. We are on Swiss FM in Ho, Glenham Radio in Bato. We are on A1 Radio in Bolga, Tanga Radio Max in Takrady, and ATL FM in Cape Coast. You can go digital on Spotify and myjoyonline.com app. In this edition,
our activities upstream, respect to mining, polluted the river to the extent that they could not treat the water. So they had to shut down their water supply system.
Ghana Water Resources Commission alarmed at how the country's water bodies have been polluted by illegal small-scale miners. We have details of that also this afternoon. Ghana Police Service reviews Fix the Country convener Oliver Bakavomawo and his allies requested to be allowed to stage a protest with private armed security men. We have details as the service says such an arrangement is unlawful. Contractors working to upgrade the Kumasi Airport to international status say they are on track to complete the project by the end of the year as they prepare to begin the final phase of construction.
400,000 every year. This new terminal is going to do 1 million.
We have details as Joy News is granted exclusive access to the airport in an Drive Safe campaign.
Safe driving saves lives. Drive safe.
Cardiovascular diseases identified among drivers involved in road crashes.
Epileptic patients driving, intracranial occupying lesions, also driving, and sometimes people who are using illicit drugs. They all form part of those who are in the category of neurological condition that systematically.
And much later.
Tonight, the Black Stars will begin their African Cup of Nations qualifiers as they welcome Madagascar at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium. Head coach Otto Addo has seen enough to be convinced about the readiness of the team for the test. We look forward to that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. Many thanks for choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Please stay for details. We settle for the details now. In this afternoon, and the Water Resources Commission has warned that illegal mining induced pollution at the Bia and Tano rivers are assuming alarming proportions, similar to levels that triggered outage from neighboring Cote d'Ivoire in 2017. Executive Secretary of the Commission, Ben Ampuma, says data available indicates disturbing turbidity levels of the two water bodies. Stakeholders at a two-day transformational dialogue organized by the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyai have called for action by the government. Erastus Asaridonko reports.
These footages show a distressed, highly polluted Ofin, Enuru and Tano rivers in the Ashanti and Western regions. The Water Resources Commission says Ghana is getting close to creating a rift with Cote d'Ivoire due to the increasing pollution of the Bia River, which
2017, our activities upstream, respect to mining, polluted the river to the extent that they could not treat the water, and that created some, what we hear, upheavals in terms of protests from the communities. And if you look at the turbidity values of the Bia, getting over to the thousands, which means that it has the potential to create that level of pollution where they may find it difficult to treat their waters. And it's our only hope that we can begin to, as it were, address the situation to prevent the situation where we may have that potential, transboundary cost.
The two-day dialogue is expected to come out with a communique on fresh solutions in the efficient management of small-scale or artisanal mining in the country. The images drew sharp reactions from MP for Ahafuano Southeast Francis Menu Adabo, representative of the Bono Traditional Council, Nana Kofi Bediako, the Bono Regional Minister, Justina Owusu Banahene, and technical advisor to the Lands Minister, Ben Ayi.
When I see these things, I ask myself, who are behind this?
Of these artisan miners, and as we saw from the documentary, whether they have permit or they don't have permit, they both have no mercy upon our forest and our water resource.
Fortunately, if we don't do something about it, it's going to destroy all of us.
Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaridonko, Bono Region.
Erastus Asaridonko there with that report. We're still trying to get some responses from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. As and when we do, we'll bring that to you. Now, the Ghana Police Service has reviewed that Fix the Country convener, Oliver Bakavomawo, and his allies requested to be allowed to stage a protest with armed or private armed security men for 3 days. The service in a statement says this is unlawful and has the potential to result in a breach of public order and safety. Joy News editor Fred Smith has details of that statement, joins me in studio with it. Fred, let's talk about it.
Well, the Accra Regional Police Commander says on Sunday, the 29th of May, received a notice of intention to embark on a demonstration from a group of persons, including Okatechi Afrifa Mensa, Captain Godson Smart, Benjamin Dakun, and Oliver Bakavomawo. Among other things, the notice indicated the following: A, that the demonstrators intend to embark on a 3-day demonstration starting on the 4th of June 2022, that the demonstrators intend to contract a private security company to provide protection for the demonstration, and that the demonstrators and the contracted private security personnel will be armed with weapons, that the armed demonstration will demonstrators will picket at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation and the Ghana Police Headquarters, that the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, they will demand to speak directly to the nation on TV, on GTV, and lay out their grievances. It says that we would like to assure the public that the police service is ready and willing to provide the necessary protection for any lawful demonstration in the country. However, in this case, the service is of the view that the nature and character of the demonstration as intended is inconsistent with the Public Order Act. So the police is saying that we are therefore unable to provide security for a demonstration which is in flagrant violation of the Public Order Act and has the potential to result in the breach of public order and public safety. The service has reached out to the organizers to reconsider their proposal, and police are putting in place all necessary measures to ensure that the unauthorized persons do not march on the streets as they've intended.
Well, there have been reactions to this. Professor Kwazan, for instance, has been tweeting about it or writing on his Facebook page. He says the demonstrators want to carry their registered weapons, come with their private security, and demand a slot on GTV to speak directly to the nation and lay out grievances in accordance with Article 5511, which guarantees fair opportunity to Ghanaians to present their programs to the public through equal access to the state-owned media. Where in the world will such a request be made, let alone be granted by the state? To be sure, they are legitimate grievances and they should be aired as loudly, as persistently as possible, but we must not conflict the freedom to air our grievances with the creation of a lawless society of personal weapons, private security and dawn broadcast. Well, the Fix the Country group has meanwhile been addressing a news conference demanding the setting up of an independent investigative body to probe allegations that members of the security agencies killed some individuals and proceeded to brand them as criminals. They also want an end to the deployment of military persons in civilian crowd control situations, as well as the use of live ammunition. You're listening to the Midday News. We're live on Joy 99.7 FM. Also, there's more on that on myjoyonline.com. Now, the World Bank says it verified that the Ministry of Education trained teachers before releasing funds under the Ghana Accountability for Learning Outcomes Project Gallup. This confirmation is containing the response the global financial institution sent to Joy News. The Education Committee of Parliament is set to probe allegations that the Education Minister, Dr. Yawose Educhum, supervised gallop at an estimated cost of $1.2 million for some 40,000 teachers. This follows a Joy News investigation that revealed that the Ghana Education Service was unaware of the training. The World Bank, as part of investigations to establish the training of the teachers as claimed by the Education Ministry, officially wrote to the Director General of GES to confirm the said training. The GES said it was unaware of it. We've been checking with the World Bank and have details of this. My colleague Joseph Akable joins me in studio. Joseph, what has the World Bank been saying?
And so we wrote to the World Bank and asked whether they are satisfied with the responses and whether they've received proof of the training. And this is the response that came from the World Bank. The World Bank would like to confirm that under the Ghana Accountability for Learning Outcomes Project, GALLOP, financing is disbursed against the achievement of pre-agreed and independently verified results. As per the protocol, the Ministry of Education provided the details of the number of teachers trained in using distance learning methods, which were verified by the Development Partners Group and accepted by the World Bank. It goes on to say that the financing was released upon this confirmation. The World Bank remains committed to supporting Ghana in its efforts to improve education for all. And so the World Bank is saying that as far as it's concerned, it was informed that and verified that indeed a training took place before proceeding to release the funds.
Okay, thank you very much, Joseph Akable. There are more questions that we're hoping that the World Bank could provide answers to. Now, let me take you to the Ashanti region, and air travelers from the Ashanti and adjoining regions will soon not have to head towards the Kotoka International Airport in Accra before connecting to international flights. This is because the Kumasi International Airport is on the verge of completion as contractors work around the clock to install final fittings required to operationalize the grand edifice, which is expected to process about 1 million passengers annually. My colleague Manuel Cranting was granted exclusive access to the facility. Here's more.
New Kumasi International Airport built to be completed by the end of 2022. But details are what we're going to get for you right here as we speak to the resident engineer here on site with ADK Consortium. Briefly explain to us, I mean, well, we hear about Kumasi International Airport and all of that. People think that there's another Kotoka International Airport that is being replicated here in Kumasi. Just a bit of details on the project.
This is a new airport, so to speak. Considering the existing airport, we are building a new terminal, putting an extension onto the existing runway, and this will allow for the new classification of a Code 4D, which will mean we can handle the critical aircraft of a 737-800, and that has a bigger capacity, and that aircraft can fly you to Europe.
But let's talk about the details of this particular project. When did it start? And we know it's supposed to end sometime later this year, but just a bit of details of the timelines and how exhaustive really you've gone.
All right, basically there was a phase 2 of this project. The phase 2 of this project was to build a new terminal, and the new terminal is 12,000 square meters on 3 levels. So we have the ground level, the first level, and then the mezzanine level. The mezzanine level is to handle the air bridges. That's the new international standard. That is where the passengers will depart and passengers will arrive. On the ground floor, you will have where you do your normal checking, and you have some commercial space where there are some restaurants and there's some commercial shops. And then you also have a facility which is the VVIP, which was originally a separate building on the old terminal. The next floor is the departure level, and that is where you do all your security check-ins and you wait for your aircraft to be called, and hopefully you will get the benefit of going on the escalators and going on the air bridges, which we didn't have before in this Kumasi airport. So, and the runway is to do an extension from 1.98 kilometers to 2.320 kilometers.
Let's bring it home a bit and then talk about the implication of this expansion. I mean, how many check-ins, if you like, passengers, for instance, did you carry in the old terminal, and what will be the the increment when you come into this new terminal?
All right, so basically the current terminal is running probably about 400 passengers throughput every year, and this new terminal is going to do 100,000 passengers every year. 400,000 every year. This new terminal is going to do 1 million, and it will always have the potential overrun to about 1.5 depending on our operational level.
That's my colleague Manuel Cranting there with that report from the Ashanti region. Let's now take our Drive Safe campaign.
Safe driving saves lives. Drive safe.
Now, what can drivers involved in road crashes be suffering from, and how did that lead to their death? A study by the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology might provide answers. The findings published in the Sage Journal, Clinical Pathology, has found cardiovascular diseases to be the major condition among drivers who died through road crashes. Here's lead scientist Dr. Osei Poku Sampene.
A lot of them had systemic diseases, such as cardiovascular diseases, hypertension, cerebral. In fact, we checked the system. Some of them had respiratory, in fact, what we call respiratory tract diseases. Some of them also have neurological diseases. And then, if it's respiratory, we are looking at asthmatic attack, those who for some reason will have pulmonary embolism. Some of them have bilateral pneumonia, and so on and so forth. Epileptic patients driving, intracranial occupying lesions also driving, and sometimes people who are using illicit drugs. They all form part of those who were in the category of neurological condition that systematically.
That's for our Drive Safe campaign. Dr. Osei Poku Sampene, the lead scientist. Now, private legal practitioner and law lecturer Dr. John Bading is urging the Office of the Attorney General to prosecute top officials of the Bank of Ghana for the current state of the city should they fail to offer cogent reasons for its depreciation. He argues the central bank is constitutionally required to ensure a stable currency. Dr. Bading says the BOG has since 1992 failed to live up to its constitutional mandate of ensuring a stable currency, and recent depreciation leaves much to be desired.
The situation currently appears to be getting out of hand. It looks like the managers of the city don't have a clue. It also looks like we are headed for a destruction. And I'm feeling it, and I believe everybody's feeling it. And something will have to be done.
And you are saying that you believe that they should be prosecuted for what the offense exactly? What have they done?
The first step is for the Bank of Ghana to respond to certain issues that I have raised, and also to show cause why their veil of incorporation shouldn't be lifted or pierced to reach the governing members. So if they are able to satisfy the nation, then they don't have to be prosecuted. But if they are unable, then my belief is that they will have to be prosecuted for violating the respective laws and causing harm or unlawful damage to our cities. I've lost plenty money and keep losing. I can't balance out. Most households are in disequilibrium. What is going on? Who is the manager? Is the manager to the task? I don't know. We need answers.
The Bank of Ghana, meanwhile, says it is carefully monitoring the currency and will intervene when necessary. First Deputy Governor Dr. Maxwell Pukwafari has been speaking to Joy Business George Uafe.
We need to make sure that we do not create any imbalance that will cause an unwarranted reaction from the key stakeholders. What you've seen, we are a flexible exchange rate regime framework. That's what we have. We're not a fixed exchange rate regime framework. So you need to, it's okay to see some movements of the currency, but within a band that is not episodes of high swings. So if it's within a certain band and it provides context and it also provides stability, then at least market agents know that they're able to expect the rate to move within a certain band, and so it helps them to plan better. And so when we begin to see those small movements in the rate, that is consistent with a flexible exchange rate regime and also consistent with underlying fundamentals. But when we have external shocks and also reasons for people to speculate, then you see episodes of spikes. Those are the episodes of spikes that policy will have to go out there to address more decisively. But when the rate is moving within the band, as we are an inflation targeting framework central bank, we do not target the exchange rate. So it's okay for the the exchange rate to move within a certain band. But episodes outside those bands, we have to go in out there to address it more decisively.
Well, let's go back to our earlier story, and we've been talking about the police statement on the Fix the Country campaign, the concerns that they've raised as to why they cannot allow them to embark on that demonstration. Well, one of the leading members of the Fix the Country group, Okatachi Frifa Mensa, thankfully joins us on the line. We are grateful for your time here on the Midday News. First, though, confirm to me from what we are seeing from the police statement, did you actually ask for all that in terms of demands that you made, a dawn broadcast, private armed security, amongst others? Was that really what you're asking for?
Right. Thank you very much for your time, sir. And good afternoon to your listeners. First of all, I wish the police would have attached the letter we wrote to them to their statement, because as it stands now, it looks like the media has no knowledge of the letter we released to the police. At no point did we ask to have a dawn broadcast. Of course, we cannot do that. Two, if the police is talking about the fact that we asked that we will get our own private security, we are saying that on the back of the fact that just recently, on 2 occasions, one in Nigeria, one in Nkranza, when the people were embarking on a peaceful demonstration to register their displeasure, we saw the police shooting into the people and killing them. So in this case, we couldn't trust that the police will give us the protection that we want. More importantly, when the demonstration is going to last for 3 days. So we only ask that on top of the security the police is going to provide us, we are going to also hire some private security for us to be safe in that enclave for 3 days. For me, I don't know why the police is exaggerating on we carrying arms and we carrying this and carrying arms. For what? It is the private security that we are going to, seek for their service that is going to come there with their protective gears. So if the police is assuring us that they can actually give us protection and will not shoot into the public like they shot into the public in Nkranza, they shot into the public in Nigeria, then maybe we can have a roundtable discussion again and see the way forward. Until then, I think we still stand on the point that we want to get our private security in addition to what the police is going to give us for that 3 days demonstration.
So just for clarity, though, this private security that you talk about, what kind of arms are they supposed to come to that demonstration that day with?
Under the laws of this country, what arms do the private securities have to carry? I'm sure they are not able to carry AK-47. They are not able to carry. So obviously, it will be just maybe 1 or 2 arms that the law allows them to carry. It is not about holding guns, and I don't know why they are blowing it out of proportion. That we said we're going to carry arms to mean that we're going to carry guns and all that. That is not what we said. We said that we are going to get a private security in addition to what the police is going to give us. And obviously, whatever the law mandates them to come to the demonstration with as private security company, that is what they are going to come with.
Interesting choice of dates, June 4, though. But clarity, the GBC visit, what exactly does it entail? If it's not a dawn broadcast, like you're saying, what exactly are you supposed to do there?
We said on countless occasions that the democracy, the fixed system we have created is thriving on 4 arms. The 3 arms of government plus the media. Now we are talking about the Parliament House, the judiciary, as well as presidency. Then we have the media, and the state media is GBC. So we are going there to plead with them to give us an airtime to air our grievances to the public. Then from there we go to Parliament to register our displeasure to the people, 275 people that holds the power of the people. Then we go to judiciary, again give them our petition. Then we move to the Flagstaff House and stay there for 3 days. How does this threaten or become a dawn broadcasting or an attempted coup in disguise and all that? I think the police is only trying to exaggerate that point we made about private security, so to create some discontent between the people and the Fix the Country. Other than that, we wrote a letter to them saying that we want to go on a demonstration on the 4th of June to register our displeasure towards a Japa deal, towards the cessation of the Achimota forest, among many other things that are going on in this country that is unpleasant to the state, the nation we want to build. These are the things, these are the matters we believe the police should be looking at, other than trying to cause a disaffection between us and the people by creating the impression that, oh, these people are lawless. We are not lawless. We are very law-abiding citizens who are going to go according to what the laws of this nation states. So we should probably just throw this thing with a pinch of salt.
We're grateful for your time there. That's Elkotechi Kwesi Fifa, the leading member of the Fix the Country campaign group. Well, thankfully, we have a copy of the letter that they sent to the police service by way of informing them about their demonstration. Joseph Akable, thankfully, you have a copy of that letter. Let's go through it.
Yes, so under format, it states here that the demonstration will entail both a procession and eventual picketing at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, the police headquarters and Flagstaff House for 3 days starting from 4th June 2022. We will bring our own security company to provide protection to demonstrators. All weapons held by demonstrators or by the contracted security personnel will be for personal protection only, and all weapons will be duly permitted in accordance with the Arms and Ammunition Act 1972. And so that is the relevant part. On the GBC, it says that we expect that demonstrators will gather at Circle. The procession will move from Circle to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, where the protesters will demand a slot on GTV to speak directly to the nation and lay out our grievance in accordance with Article 5511, which guarantees the opportunity for Ghanaians to present their programs to the public.
Well, this is not the last we're hearing of this particular issue. We'll definitely interrogate it further. There's more also on myjoyonline.com. You can read for yourself. And maybe, hopefully, we'll get to hear from the police also on this. Let's take a quick breather here on the Midday News. We are right back with more.
Yema Wakwaba, ba Akwaba Magic Busia, brand new channel, Tia Roba, Emuno Chiao, Ewo DSTV channel 149, and Go TV channel 108. Enianom Akwaba Magic Busia, Eddie Nidia Ghanaian programs mu Baufi, a bit said to have and to hold, and Yom Senior Cassia, series and a talk show, Bemoakao TV set Nichi, Akwaba Magic Busia, Ewo DSTV access to your 50 Ghana cedis per and Go TV value to your 25 Ghana cedis per Ebusia Akwaba.
And it's time for sports. We are all getting ready for this evening. Muftao.
And the Black Stars will be getting ready to go tonight as they come up against Madagascar in the African Cup of Nations 2023 qualifiers. And head coach of the team, Otoado, has been speaking about the readiness of the boys.
African football is different than European football due to the climate and a lot of things. I've played myself some matches in Africa, in Ghana, and the players as well. So it's not a new thing to us all. Yeah. And like I said, I think we're prepared. We're going to go today, and the boys look sharp. They look ready. Really, really good to see. You know, there are days where I think, when I see them train, like, I wish I would be young and could join them. But when I saw the training, it was hot, and I was thinking, okay, it's good that I'm off the pitch now, because the guys look really sharp, and looking forward for the game.
And meanwhile, Andrew Ayus, keeper of the team, says that he has seen enough under Otoado to be convinced that he's ready for the Black Stars coaching job.
We have seen a lot of progress. We've seen a lot of development in what we're doing. And if you look at the last two games, okay, we didn't win, but it took us to the. I take it like a win. When you play versus a team like Madagascar, who has everything to play for in Ghana, all the players want to show themselves and show what they can do versus one of the best African teams, and the team who is going to Qatar. We have to expect that it's going to be very difficult. But we are ready. We are going to give everything that we have to make sure that we get the win here and start on the right foot, because this campaign is going to.
That is keeper of the Black Stars, Andrew.
Well, I'll take you quickly to the Ashanti region before we head to Cape Coast much later today, because the Kumasi High Court has granted bail to NPP chairman for Drabin constituency, Alexander Kwabena Kantanka, over election corruption. He pleaded not guilty to all 26 counts of corruption in respect of public elections, contrary to provisions in the Criminal Offences Act 29. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, we know, charged Mr. Kantanka after he's alleged to have demanded a refund of monies he paid publicly to induce
some assembly members of the Joabing Municipal Assembly to influence them to vote and confirm him as municipal chief executive in September last year. And that's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. My tweet wasn't going to get Ghanaians on the streets. British High Commissioner fires back at Dampare. Dampare's response to British High Commissioner misguided and regrettable. Also there, IGP's response to British High Commissioner apt. That's Professor Kwesi Aining. And Manchester United confirms midfielder Paul Pogba will leave on free transfer. You can read that for yourself there on myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apawu, and we have Living Word with Pastor Mental Tabil coming up next. Many thanks for your company.
Hello, please, am I speaking to Miss Joanna Kuma?
Yes, please.
My name is Philip and I'm calling from MTN. Someone has just sent you money and we will need you to enter your PIN number so that we can put the money in your account.